What's going on, everybody? It's Rocklee coming at you guys with the interesting video that I got from you, the people. In regards to ranking of the kings and Mushoku Tensei is a great comparison. Guys, there's going to be potential spoilers, but you're perfectly fine if you're fully caught up as an anime only. Anime onlys, okay? And I must thank you, because sometimes I don't have an idea for content, but every now and then you guys say something interesting and it gives me an idea for a video. If you want your idea included on a video, give me permission so I can screenshot it, because I don't want people being embarrassed about what's about to happen right now. So the comparison was, like I said, potential spoilers, but if you're anime only, you can be perfectly fine. King Daida asked Miranjo to be his wife. And the age disparity between them is, large, 15 years. And then people were outraged about Mushoku Tensei because of the Rudy and Eris age difference. When you include Rudy's former life, which he just so happens to have memory of, because if you are a believer in reincarnation, we can all be thousands of years, but we don't have access to our memories. Rudy just has access to it, so he should be treated differently. Anyways, I have a whole video about my opinion on whether or not Rudy and Eris should be acceptable. So we're not going to focus on whether or not Rudy's relationship with Eris is acceptable, because that's a whole different topic. What we are going to talk about is whether or not we can or should, because you can do anything you want, but whether or not we should compare Eris and Rudy's controversy to ranking of the king. And I'm going to tell you no, they should not be compared. And it's very short. This should be a very short video, unless I start rambling. Daida is the king of his land, okay? And he would be the Eris, so to speak. He is the younger character in this situation. First of all, whenever it's an older, younger character, guys and girls, it's treated much differently, okay? Whether that's okay is its own thing, but we should all acknowledge that in a majority of cases, society tends to make it less of a bigger deal whenever the guy is the younger person in that relationship. Guys being a victim of an older relationship is kind of not taken as seriously in the grand scheme. It should be taken seriously. So we're not talking about whether it should. We're talking about whether it is. Let that marinate. Okay? So yes. So first of all, it is Daida, the male, who is the younger person in this relationship. But here's the thing. Daida is a king. Until further notice, right? He decides on the rules of this kingdom. So the victim isn't the younger person in this scenario. What happens now, potentially, it should be, it's more of your boss, making a move on you and you don't know how to say no to your boss. I think that supersedes the age thing, because it's the younger king, the younger authoritative figure that has asked Miranjo for the wed. Right? So, if anything, it should be more like, dang, Miranjo doesn't have a choice because the king is asking. Of course, Miranjo has her own bag. We're going to assume that she's not responsible for, killing almost half the kingdom. Whatever. We're going to act like that's not part of it. We're just going to look at the age and the power and the gender and the time period and being a king, all that stuff. That's what we're going to focus on. So anyways, yes, Daida being the authoritative figure in this case, he just is not the victim. So we can't feel bad for the younger person. The only person to potentially feel bad for is the person who doesn't have power. And in this case, it's Miranjo. Other than the fact that she has witch powers or whatever it is that she does. Okay, now going on to Eris, what's going on there is potentially, if you are to think that Mushoku Tensei had a problem, it's just that Rudy is a 40-year-old in a younger body with the experience and knowledge of a 40-year-old, and then he can be taking advantage of Eris because she doesn't have that mental experience that Rudy has. Again, Miranjo is being asked to wed by the king, right? Technically, even if she says no, technically, right, which is a possibility, it's very common. It's very, 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 very common for people to wed at different ages. Now, what matters is, are they going to do intercourse? That's a different thing, because sometimes you wait until the person's of whatever age your society deems ready. So right now, it's just a wed. And this small child, Daida, I should really say small child, because that's really going to hurt what I'm trying to say. So, editor, cut it. So anyways, circling back to Daida, right? Daida in this era is a person who, at his age, can be charged with making decisions for the entire country. So again, we're looking at a series, and sometimes you can't force your rules onto another society, but Daida's an adult. That's really how we end the video. Yes, there's an age difference, but it would be like a 30-year-old going after a 39-year-old. You know, or a 38-year-old going after a 52-year-old. It's fine, because that person is an adult. In this story, Daida is actually like an adult. He's so adult, he's leading the nation. You know, in the Vietnam War in America, one of the things was 17-year-olds being sent to fight, but they couldn't vote. So we had to change the voting law, right, to allow, if you could fight, then you can make votes, you know. So back to Daida, if you are charged to fight battles, lead the nation, and be its sovereign king, then I'm not concerned with you being taken advantage of, hypothetically, by a commoner of your domain, despite them potentially being older than you. You are the sovereign being. In some places, they're treated as gods. So, that's my opinion, guys. What do you guys think? I don't even think this should have been a comparison. And whether or not Mushoku Tensei Rudy's thing is an issue, that's a separate video. Check for it in the link of this video. I'm open to feedback. If you haven't subscribed to my Twitter, go ahead and do so. I look out for y'all dope comments. Until next time, YaBoyRocklee out. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, please go ahead and do so. The link is in the description of this video, and I actually tweet back. Much love, YaBoyRocklee.